Okay, so we were on Escape from Horrorland, which is book 11 in the Goosebumps HorrorLand series by RL Stine, page 124. That made Luke laugh. Yeah, and no more scary books or scary video games, he said. We both laughed. When we get home, we'll spend all our time watching SpongeBob and the Disney Channel, Luke said. From now on, wait, Luke, I said. I held him back and pointed. Look, is that the end of the maze? Whoa, check it out. We all stopped. The hedge walls ended a few yards in front of us, and beyond them we could see bright gray light. Warm air floated in from the wide opening at the end of the hedges. I took a long, deep breath, and then I started to run with the others. As we came bursting out of the maze, a large black and white sign came into view. Actually, it was a big banner spread across a brick wall. In big, bold letters, the banner read, "Welcome to Horrorland." We all cheered and screamed. We jumped up and down and slapped high fives and bumped our fists in the air in triumph. I hugged Luke. We all cheered and laughed. Over Luke's shoulder, I saw 5 or 6 big horrors thundering toward us. Yes, yes, I screamed happily. We made it. We're back. Chapter 28. The green and purple horrors roared up to us, their big feet slapping the pavement, their furry chests were bare under the dark overalls they wore. Curled horns poked up from their heads and caught the glare of the bright light. We stopped cheering. The horrors didn't look like a welcoming committee. Their eyes were narrowed coldly at us. Their faces were set in scowls and ugly frowns. As they came near, they formed a line. They spread their big arms as if ready to grab us or keep us from escaping. Hey, we came back, Matt shouted. We're back in Horrorland, Carly Beth exclaimed. The horrors didn't answer. They scowled at us in silence. Suddenly, I knew that something was very wrong. The horrors were in color, all purple and green, but as I glanced around, I saw that the rest of the park was in black and white, all shades of black and gray. I pointed to the wall. The banner, I said to the horrors. We're back in Horrorland, right? It says we're back in Horrorland. Some of the horrors laughed. That's his idea of a joke, one of them muttered. He has a twisted sense of humor, another horror said. He sneered. You'll find out soon enough. I gasped. You mean we're still in Panic Park? Who are you talking about? Carly Beth demanded. Who has a twisted sense of humor? Yeah, who put up that banner? Matt asked. The horrors didn't answer. They stood in their tight lines staring at us coldly. What do you want? Matt asked. Tell us. Why are you guarding us? What are you going to do to us? They didn't move or speak. I felt a wave of panic roll down my body. I shuddered. After a long silence, Matt turned to Jillian. They won't talk, but you can read their minds, right? Jillian faced one of the horrors, a tall creature with yellow fur on top of his green head. Go ahead, Matt urged. Quick, read his mind. What do they plan to do? Jillian squinted up at the horror and concentrated hard. He stared back at her without moving. A few seconds passed, then Jillian stepped back. I can't, she stammered. They're horrors. They're not human. I can't read their thoughts. I let out a sharp cry. I grabbed Jillian by the shoulders. Jillian, how could you do that to all of us? I screamed. She snatched my wrists and shoved my hands away. What are you talking about? She cried. You lied, I shouted. You're a liar. She blinked at me. Lizzie, you're crazy. You're totally crazy. No, I insisted. You told us you could read Byron's mind, remember? When he showed up here and took us to the midnight maze, we asked you to read his thoughts. We asked if he was telling the truth. So, Jillian sneered at me, you said you read Byron's mind. You told us Byron was telling the truth, I said. You said we could trust Byron, but Byron is a horror, and now you say you can't read horrors' minds. Well, Jillian's cheeks turned red. She took a step back. You're a total liar, I repeated. I moved toward her angrily. You lied about me, and you lied about Byron. Why? Jackson stepped between us. Give Jillian a break, he said. Get out of my sister's face. Matt gave Jackson a hard shove and knocked Jackson onto his back. You're both liars, aren't you? Matt said. We thought you were our friends. Why did you trick us? Why did you do this to us? Jillian's face became more flushed. She had tears in her eyes. She shook her head hard as if she was confused. She stammered. Then suddenly the horrors backed up. I turned in time to see a man step out from behind them. He wore a black suit and a black shirt. His face was hidden in the shadow of a wide-brimmed black hat. Go ahead, fight, he said in a booming, deep voice. Mix it up. Go ahead, Lizzie. You're right. Jillian lied to you. Jillian is a liar. Tear her hair. Come on, rip her eyes out. Let's go, everyone. Let's fight. I love this. Don't you just love it? Chapter 29. I struggled to see the man's face, but he kept it well hidden under the brim of the black hat. Staring hard, I realized he was completely covered in black. He wore a black tie over his black shirt. He even had black gloves over his hands. I backed away from Jillian. Jackson climbed to his feet and huddled beside his sister. We all stared in silence at the man with the booming voice. No one wants to mix it up? No one wants to give me a good fight? Show me some blood? He sounded truly disappointed. We just want to know where we are, Matt said, and what's going on here. Let me welcome you, the Matt said. I hope you enjoyed your first little test in Panic Park. Test? Michael cried. What kind of test? You did very well, the man said, ignoring Michael's question. Very well indeed. I enjoyed seeing you tremble in fear. Your fear was very real. That's what we want. Real fear. And I liked the way you dealt with it. Very impressive. This dude is way weird, Luke whispered to me. Is he joking? I wish, I muttered. I already knew you were brave, the man continued. That's why you were all chosen. And you showed a lot of courage in the Midnight Maze, but that was baby stuff. He chuckled. Now we'll see how brave you are when it really starts to get scary. Some kids gasped. I felt my heart skip a beat. Panic Park had been terrifying from the moment we arrived. Why was he talking about making it scarier? Who are you? Michael shouted. Are we supposed to be scared of you because you're all dressed in black? Why don't you give us a break and tell us what you want? The man touched the brim of his hat. My name is Karloff Menace, he said. Most people call me the Menace. My heart skipped again. I had a sudden heavy feeling in my stomach. The Menace. We had heard that before. I am your host here, he said. I built this park. I brought you here for a reason. I need a favor. Just one little favor. That's all. A favor from us? Carly Beth cried. He nodded. If we do it, can we go home? Carly Beth asked. Well, that's just it, the Menace replied, lowering his voice. The simple favor is this. I need you to stay here in Panic Park forever. That's it for this book. It's to be continued in The Streets of Panic Park, number 12. So here we have Fear File number 11. So you open up the Fear File, and on the left side, you've got a business card, 2 business cards, but you can't see what the bottom one says. The top one has a picture of a brain, and it says Inspector Cranium, Thought Police. And then it appears to be the back of the card underneath that says, can read mind of anyone over the age of 3, except for horrors who always have the mind of a 2-year-old. Can use brain power to open bottles and cans. When in doubt, empty out a brain, ask questions later. On the other side, it has FAQs, freakishly absurd questions about the Vampire State Building. Located in Vampire Village at the inspection of Hollywood and Vane, the Vampire State Building is the tallest structure in Horrorland. Question, how can I find the Vampire State Building? Answer, follow the Yellow Guano Road. Don't try asking any vampires for directions. They can be a pain in the neck. Question, what's inside? Answer, Plasma Plaza. Shops like Fangs for the Memories Antiques, and restaurants like Dracula's Steakhouse. The upper floors have bat-ing cages and a 6-screen movie theater with all coffin seating. Question, can I go to the top? Answer, yes, our observation deck is open every night from sundown to sunrise and offers a one-of-a-kind view of Horrorland. All we ask is a small donation from each guest, 1 or 2 pints depending on your size. Question, why are all the windows blacked out? Answer, please hurry over so we can answer that question for you in person. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so we have map 11. It's got a tall building that says Blood Donors Welcome, and then a little space that looks like maybe there was supposed to be a fountain there. Then behind the building, kind of behind and to the right of it, my right, Vulture Beach. It's a title, and looks like it's got a vulture on it. Then off to the side, the coffin cruise, and it's got coffins on what looks like a little river. And then spikes in a circle with little huts, it looks like. And then in the front, it has worm bait and a hook and a worm wrapped around it. It looks like a little stand. And it connects to map number 9. Like, here goes map number 9, and here's the map. This book is your ticket to www.enterhorrorland.com. Checklist number 11. Take a spin on the coffin cruise, but watch out for those rusty nails. Eliminate the glowing red eyes in Vampire Village. Spiders and lice and wee little mice. Were you expecting burgers and fries? Uncover what vampires are really made of. Journey to the top of the Vampire State Building for a biting good time. And we are done with book 11.